All right, everybody, absolutely devastating day out here on the job. Came out here and we're doing a little brush cutting mowing job with Munchie. And so I use two GoPros. I use this 6 that I'm filming on right now, and I use an 8. And the 8 had a media mod. It's usually what I do my intros and outros, and when I talk to the camera, that's usually what I use. Well, I put the GoPro on the mulcher, try to get some cool footage, and somehow it fell off and Munchie ate the GoPro. So ouch. So we'll go through everything again really quick, and I'll show you guys what we're doing, what we got. I found some of it, but not the important parts. But let me show you guys what we got. All right, so coming through here, we're mulching this embankment, and I hadn't gotten very far, and I stopped, so the 8 was on this little magnet mount. This thing, which is a magnet, which some of the magnets are gone now, but they won't even stick. They're all gone. Anyway, the 8 was on this thing. This is all I have found of the 8. That's all I could find. Mostly pieces of the media mod. I was hoping I could find the core of it intact somewhere that had the SD card in it, but I have been looking for the last 30 minutes, going through all of this, digging out this grass, and that was all I found. So oh well, I guess that's I have another 8. I had two 8s, and I was using the 6 and this 8. I've got another 8 at the house, but I have to get another media mod for it. I really like that media mod, but it picks up sound pretty good. And I have been through all of this. I found some of it, pieces of it, all the way over here, all the way back over there. I mean, it's everywhere. I never saw it fall off. I had it mounted like right here, which I thought was really cool to get like an up close to the mulcher. But yep. Well, we'll just continue on. Let me show you guys what we're doing, and I'll kind of get into that really quick. All right, so here's kind of what we're doing. We're taking down this embankment with Munchie. The reason I'm doing this with Munchie is because you cannot get a skid steer to go down this embankment. It gets too steep down that way to get a skid steer on it, and then you can't come from this side due to the street. The butt end of the skid steer would be out into the road, and you'd be all over the sidewalk, people coming by. So one thing I love about this Kubota, if you're not familiar with my channel, on this Kubota, and I know with the Cats and the Takeuchis you can do this as well, you can program the hydraulics from the computer to tell how much hydraulic flow you want to go to whatever attachment you're using: thumb, mulcher, brush cutter, hammer, etc., etc. So this thing has presets in here. So there's my thumb, there's my mulcher, that's for a hammer, that's for a brush cutter, mulcher. All right, so I've only got this thing set up for just the thumb and the mulcher pretty much. So what I've done is that this machine at max will send out 20 gallons a minute from the auxiliary to that mulcher, and it'll spin it at about 2,000 RPM. I don't need that much to cut this down, and when you're spinning that fast with that much power, this thing throws stuff, you know, a good bit. Not everywhere, but it throws a good bit. So I just need just enough power to kind of just knock this brush down, as you can see, as I've already done right through here, and that all looks really good. So what I've done is gone into the computer right here, down to our auxiliary flow settings, and I've turned, oh no, not that one, that's the thumb. I've turned the mulcher down to about 9 gallons a minute. And so what that does is it gives us just enough flow here. Go back here, okay. And we'll turn it on. So that's full throttle. It gives me just enough flow to kind of knock this little bit of brush down, but it not throw stuff out into the street or out into the sidewalk, and it does a really, really good job. And this is where this Kubota really shines over like the Deere, which I love the John Deere 60G, but how you control flow to the hydraulic attachments is through the throttle. So I can only pump 9 gallons a minute to this, but I can turn the throttle all the way open, so I still have enough power for my hydraulics to lift the arm and the boom and everything. which is a really cool function. On the deer, you could turn the throttle down and it would reduce power to the mulcher head or the brush cutter or whatever, but you wouldn't have enough hydraulic power to track or lift the boom in the arm or actuate the head, you know, and all that good stuff. So really good function about these Kubotas. And I don't know why Deere doesn't put that in their machines on the smaller ones, but I don't know. I'm not one of their engineers, but unfortunately, yep, GoPro's gone. I looked and looked. I don't think we're gonna find it. That sucks. Well, it just gives me an excuse to go buy a 10, I guess. So let me get you guys set back up on the tripod and we'll get this job finished. All right, everybody, that's the back jack on that. And that looks good. We got a little bit of trash to pick up, but nothing too, mostly these plastic bags people just dump out here, I guess, when they're walking along. It's so annoying. But yeah, that looks good. That only took about a little over an hour to knock that down, mow it down, and then we'll come back, mow all this down. Hopefully later this week I should be getting the skid steer back. I'm going to call CCE this afternoon and see if they made any progress getting the ASV fixed. We'll hopefully be able to run down there and pick it up later this week, and we'll be in good shape. So I'm really happy with this. Great machine for doing this. You wouldn't be able to do this with a brush cutter. It would be throwing stuff everywhere. One thing I don't think people talk about enough with these machines sometimes is flail mowers. People always ask me about either getting a mulcher or a brush cutter, but no one really ever asked me about a flail mower. And a flail mower's really, really great. You could have done this with a flail mower as well. It would have worked great. Flail mowers are really good for kind of like that 4-inch material down, but I know there are some out there that are rated for, can do intermittently 6-inch material, which means you wouldn't want to do a whole bunch of 6-inch material, but if you come across one, you can do it. I know there's several of them out there that are really good. So a flail mower is kind of like a I don't know, mulcher light, I guess you could say. It's not quite a mulcher, but it's a little bit more maybe than a brush cutter. And they're like these. They're not as bad, quite about throwing stuff quite everywhere. But yeah, that turned out really well. So you can see how steep this embankment gets, and through there it's kind of tight with the trees, so it's just a lot easier to come through here, get this. I've tried to get this with the skid steer. It just doesn't work. I haven't tried it with the ASV yet, but I guess we could see if it'll get up on that embankment. It might, but I mean, it gets pretty tippy. I've never been able to get the John Deere. Plus, getting up this close to the sidewalk with that brush cutter, not something I'd fancy. But yep. All right, we got one other little thing to go do really quick, so we'll see about that. And this job's wrapped up for today. All right, so here's the other problem I got to deal with today. And so what this is like a rotten old live oak tree that was here. This house was my great uncle's house for a long time, and then his son, I guess, which would be like my second cousin, he had a stroke years and years back, and been disabled, has been living in this house for a good while, and now I guess he's moving, and this fell during the hurricane. And my original goal was to come in here and just take the bucket and lift it out, but I don't think I can do that very good with that piece right there sticking up so high. But it's already pretty rotten, and I'd have to pick it up and either get it to go that way or get it all the way over that. So I'm wondering if I can't just grind that down with Munchie right here. There's no real place for the mulch to go. It would just kind of go into those bushes or right here into there. And I can't even get back hardly in there. I mean, you can see how overgrown that is. You can't hardly walk in there to even maneuver. I've tried to go in from the other side. It's not doable. So the mulch would just kind of go right there and right there. I don't think that'd hurt anything. So let's just see if we just can't Munchie this thing down and make our lives easy. I don't know. Let's just try it. Can't hurt anything. All the power lines are over there, so I don't have to worry about any utilities or anything. So let's just see what we can do. If not, I've got the bucket in the back of the truck. We'll get the bucket and try to snatch it out of there. right, so that worked out pretty good. Stump's pretty much down below the bushes. You can't see it. Got that ground down. Got it to fall down. I got the back end back there ground up. I'm gonna get the chainsaw out. This thing is not a whole piece. It's hollow on the back side. That main trunk is hollow on the back side. That's what caused it to split in the first place. There's a couple branch parts right there. I'm gonna get the chainsaw out. I'm gonna try to just trim off some of that, make it a little lighter and smaller, and then we'll see if we can't get the main trunk of it out of here. All right, well that worked out magnificently. That fell right down to the ground, and now I can get it chopped up. Nothing got hurt, nobody got hurt, especially me. And yeah, that looked like that worked perfect. It was a little sketch. I didn't prefer it to do it that way, but I didn't see any other way really to get it down without cutting that limb off and separating that big limb going off that way from the main trunk to get it to come down. So that worked out awesome. Let's get her cut up and laid out on the side of the road, and I think the city should come get this. Kind of in one of the older neighborhoods here, a little fancy. People are riding by like, what's he doing over there with that machine? Drawing a crowd. I hope not. All right, that might make for some pretty good firewood when it dries out. It looks like that tree was still alive a little bit. All right, if I can pick it up. How much does this weigh? Oh, it's heavy. Oh. Let's see if I can deadlift it. Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh. Oh. Still got that big half piece right there. And this funky looking thing. Let's see if I can pick it up. Oh. Why'd you have to be so weird shaped? Why? Oh. Oh shoot, that one's heavier than the other one. Woo! trees down. Everything's cleaned up. Pile out on the street. Gotta load Munchie up really quick, but it's no big deal. But yeah, that worked out pretty well. Took me about an hour. Get all that squared away. Well, it looks good. I didn't really have to harm much of the trees as far as this magnolia or anything, so none of that. Seems like none of that came out worse for wear, so that'll work. All right, everybody, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope everybody had a great and safe Thanksgiving and had a good time with the family, and very thankful for all of you guys out there in YouTube land that have continued to watch and support the channel. Today was a little bit different day. Wasn't planning on eating a GoPro today, especially one of my good GoPro 8s, and luckily I've got another one at the house. Tax write-off. I'll go buy a 10 or 12 or whatever the new model is out or something, maybe after the New Year's. But luckily I've got a backup, and Missy just ordered me another magnet mount, so hopefully from Amazon, so hopefully that'll be in the next couple of days. But really appreciate it. I don't say this a lot, but if you guys like the content, like the video, please, you know, like and subscribe. It really helps the channel, helps me. I know this is something that not a lot of YouTubers talk about, but this is how I make my living now. And that has allowed me to take the money that I was making from the company and actually reinvest it back into the company and buy more equipment, buy new things like the ASV. I mean, one of the main reasons I was able to get the ASV was because of the channel, and not from the money that I make from the channel being able to pay for that, but the money that I make from the channel being able to support me, so I could take the money instead of paying myself from the company and invest in other things like that. So that really helps. And I try to, you know, make content that you guys will watch and enjoy. You know, if you're going to take time out of your day to watch my content, I want to make it worth your while to watch, make it informative, make it fun, show the transformations that we do. And if you're interested in getting into this type of business, you know, I've helped quite a few people talk about getting into the business, different things about the business, different setups, options as far as equipment, mulcher types, all kinds of stuff. And that's been really cool to do too, is to help, you know, help other people succeed, help other people grow from seeing this, and maybe start their own thing, and maybe help them be successful, and then pass it on and pass it forward and pay it forward to somebody else and help them be successful. So really thankful for all of you guys, and hope you guys enjoyed the video. Kind of a crazy day again today, but I didn't really know how I was going to tackle this tree back here, but we got it done. I wasn't planning on eating it with Munchie, but it ended up working out pretty good. So once you get one of these things, you start finding very inventive ways to use it and make your life easy. So you know, it's like an old saying we had in the Army, that you know, there's like no problem the proper amount of explosives couldn't fix. So maybe there's no tree problem the right amount of mulcher can't fix. So hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great week, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye, everybody.